Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and these are my day one impressions for the Eternals update, at least part one. The summary of what I think is we've got two pretty dope uniforms for existing characters that were cool. The real interesting part is going to be when we see them maxed out at tier 3 and transcended, but that is actually going to take some time because the epic quest this time around is much more slow, which a lot of people have asked for, and I'm kind of glad we have. And we also have this sort of locking mechanism so that when you choose a character, you have to see that character all the way through to the end before you can go into another character. So despite the fact that I'm brimming with resources to max out all three of these fat cats right away, I can't. I literally can only do one at a time. There's a way to get around that a little bit, and I'll explain it in a minute. But I just, I like that. Right? I'm sort of on Makkari right now, and I can't go over to Icarus and Cersei until I'm done with her side of the epic quest. So I'm really liking the content. In summary, I think this update is good. I just wish there was more. I do wish there were more, and it does annoy me a little bit, or pain me a little bit. Again, not really annoying, but it does pain me a little bit to see all of these empty squares. So we'll get to the characters, we'll get to the other content and artifacts and stuff like that. But for now, I do want to give you guys some tips about the epic quests because it's a different beast this time. It's not just one epic quest that everyone's on the same track. You actually now have 3 epic quests, which are all basically their own epic quests. They're a little bit smaller. The Cersei and Icarus epic quests are 35 stages each, and then the Makkari epic quest is 25 stages. When I say stages, I mean like these stages here, right? So you can see it's a little bit shorter than your average epic quest, but overall, if you combine all of it, you're talking about 95 stages, which is probably more than a full epic quest for, Sentry or Star-Lord or whatever. The difference here is once you start one of the epic quests, you get locked out of the other one. So right off the bat, if you want to complete these as fast as possible, as efficiently as possible, you want to do Icarus first, then Cersei, then Makkari. Cersei is going to make you do a lot of timeline battle runs, so you're going to have to refresh timeline battle with crystals. Icarus is not going to lock you out at all with any quests that you can't complete in one day, but Makkari will hard stop you. Everyone who does the Makkari quest will get stuck at data recovery 2, because it's going to ask you to clear the Madness Ensues quest 3 times. It's going to ask you to do that twice. And obviously you can't do that twice because the stage itself only has 4 stages a day. So it's a minimum of 2 days to finish the Makkari epic quest, whereas you can complete the Icarus epic quest in 1 day. And again, if you have the crystals, you can finish the Cersei epic quest in 1 day. Now, if you're wondering what it costs in terms of resources to complete these epic quests, there is a probably very accurate data mine for the reward, for the cost. So you can see here that Cersei and Icarus's epic quests are going to cost you relative to what you're doing. So for Cersei, you're going to transcend her. So they're going to ask you for tier 3 materials and the Awakening and Mandalay Gem materials. That makes sense, right? Because that's what you use for Awakening. For Icarus, you're going to tier 3 him, so it's going to ask you for Universal Records, like the Titan books, and then it's going to ask you for tier 3 materials. But it's a discount. It's not a full cost tier 3. As you can see, they only ask you for 8 Universal books, not 10. So it's much, much cheaper than a regular tier 3. But as you can see from Makkari, there's no cost. The reason for no cost is because Makkari is not a character that's going to be ranked up for you or transcended for you during the epic quest. So for Makkari, you can buy her deluxe pack, and then you can just back out, and you can just manually build her up yourself. You can throw a mega rank up ticket at her, you can throw a mega tier 2 ticket at her, and then you can go ahead and get her gears to 25, and you can transcend her. None of that is done for you in the epic quest. The epic quest for Makkari will give you bios. And for those of you that are wondering, the epic quest will also give you bios for Icarus, and we'll talk about Icarus in a second. But basically, you can farm bios from Makkari in her mission. You get 4 to 5 bios a day, and you get 4 runs a day as well, so you can get about 20 bios a day from there. But you also get bios of hers just by playing the missions. You can see here they gave me 70, and then they give you 70 again over here. But basically, you want to save those bios from Makkari. If you want to be as efficient as possible, save the bios from Makkari, use rank up tickets, and then either use the bios on her gears so you can save a mega tier 2 ticket, or if you have enough mega tier 2 tickets, use the bios for her uniform. It really just depends what you want to do, but she's a pretty straightforward character to build up. And even though she's like a crystal, like a deluxe pack character with a uniform, it's actually pretty straightforward to build up the uniform. And like I said, she's much cheaper. We talked about this in the patch note video. it's a 4,400 purchase instead of a 6,600, so it's 2,200 crystals less for the baseline, and you still get 1,000 crystals refunded. So she's a much cheaper character than Psylocke, Moonstone, Richard Rider, stuff like that. But that's basically how it breaks down with the 3 epic quests. So just be careful what you choose, because once you start the Cersei one, you can't stop. Like, you can't move over or jump into Makkari's or jump into Icarus's until you finish Cersei's all the way and transcend her. Now, one thing to note is you can start the Icarus epic quest, and then you can still buy the Makkari deluxe pack. And I think you can get access to that mission if you just want to grind that mission. Now, on top of it giving you bios for Makkari, the epic quest for the epic quest deluxe mission for Makkari here is also going to give you shifter bios, where you can get daily bios of either Cersei or Icarus. So you can actually farm Icarus. Let's say you don't have Icarus at all. You can farm Icarus as a shifter in both Cersei's missions and in Makkari's missions, and you can unlock him for free, and then you can use the free rank up tickets from the token events to get him to tier 2 for free to then start his epic quest. So you can actually still approach this epic quest completely for free, and you can still complete it all completely for free by using Cersei and Makkari to unlock Icarus. The other good thing about Makkari is you can farm 1, 2, and 3-star artifacts. Just to give you guys a small sample size, I got 3 1-stars and a 1 2-star today when I played my 4 runs, and also it's 4 runs instead of 2, so you actually get more chances to get the drops, and you can also get the exclusive artifacts. Now, they did drop the exclusive artifacts from Makkari, Icarus, and Cersei in the shop as well. I was a teeny bit disappointed that they did that because it lowers the drop rate for the other ones. But if you look here in the shop, we do now have the 6-star versions for Icarus, Cersei, and Makkari, and they are good. They are quite strong. So for Icarus, his passive gives him increased damage to villains, and it gives him a chance to attack enemies with ignore targeting for 9 seconds. So all of his skills will have ignore targeting for 9 seconds, and that's every 17 seconds. That's pretty huge. That basically means he has ignore targeting on all of his skills 50% of the time. Now, he already has ignore targeting on 4, so there's going to be some overlap where the buff is active and 4 is giving you ignore targeting. You're not going to get double ignore targeting, but it's a pretty cool buff. However, I think Cersei's takes the cake here. Cersei gives herself a revive on her artifact, so that's a pretty huge buff, particularly for PvP. So again, these artifacts seem really strong, and they are really strong, but they're also limited, right? Like, it's really cool that Wolverine gets the immortality of Null, but you probably don't need that for PvE. If you're going to die with Wolverine, you're probably not playing him properly. The dude heals, 30,000 HP per second, right? Like, Cersei, it's great that she revives, but again, if you're dying that often in PvE content, in world boss content, Shadowland, whatever, then it's probably something else going on mechanically, not the character, right? It's not like Cersei's weak and she needs the revive, but of course the revive is very strong for PvP. We can't ignore that. And then Makkari gets a pretty cool buff as well from her artifacts. She gets increased damage by 25% to enemies that have 50% HP or more. So it's sort of like the reverse of Iron Man, where he does more damage if the enemy has less than 30% HP. For Makkari, she does a little bit more damage, only 25%, not 200% like Iron Man, but if the enemy has more than 50%. So this is interesting because it has an equally powerful effect in PvE and PvP. In PvE, you spend a good chunk of the battle with the enemy above 50% HP because it's from the beginning to the middle, right? And then in PvP, that 50% is going to push you right to the threshold of the CTPs and other obelisks activating their invincibility, or whatever the effect is, at 50%. So there's an interesting little interplay there. It's not quite as obviously OP as Icarus's or Cersei's. It's a little bit more subtle, but I like it, and I think they're doing a good job of making the artifacts feel unique, which is the point of them. And I like the fact that you can still farm them from the epic quest. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the epic quest and the design. I don't think it's a cash grab. I don't think, like, there obviously are research missions, as you guys saw from that post. There's a 40 item research mission for Cersei, there's a 40 for Icarus, and a 50 for Makkari, so obviously that's a lot, but I like the fact that it's balanced, and I like the fact that you get a pretty nice discount on either your Transcended Cersei or your Tier 3 Icarus, not to mention the fact that these are powerful characters, right? Like, we got a discount on Star-Lord, but nobody wanted a discount on Star-Lord because nobody really wanted Star-Lord. Well, Dash Pulse wanted Star-Lord, but you get what I'm saying. Star-Lord wasn't a meta character when the Epic Quest came out, and he's not a meta character now. But Cersei and Icarus are meta characters, so for you to be getting a discount on that, that's pretty dope. So yeah, I like this new version of the Epic Quest. I like the Eternals. I think they look really cool visually. Their skills look awesome. I still think Makkari works with or without the uniform, so you can also keep that in mind. As far as the uniform options, let me just run them down really quick for you guys. Icarus here has a superior Iron Man, Yelena from Black Widow, Red Hulk symbiote, Deadpool 30th anniversary black, and then Moon Knight, Mr. Knight. That's pretty good. Makkari, I actually don't have all of the options in front of me, but the first 3 are Dr. Octopus, Crescent Lifestyle 1, which is kind of bad, and then she has Beast Uncanny X-Men. That's kind of okay, but what takes the cake as possibly the worst uniform options I've ever seen, unfortunately, is Gemma Chan's Cersei. We've got Magneto House of X, which is pretty good. But then we have Scarlet Witch, all new, all different. Loki, Agent of Asgard, and Ghost. Yikes. Now, I did skip over Luke Cage Uptown, which is good. So Luke Cage and Magneto are good. Luke Cage is great. But this is a 2-year-old uniform. This is a uniform that's already been replaced, and this is a 3-year-old uniform. We should not be seeing 3-year-old uniforms as options anymore. That should not happen. A native tier 2 and a paywall and a crystal wall kind of hurts me in the gonads. So yeah, that's a bit of an ouchie. Cersei fans out there, I feel your pain. However, she does really look like Gemma Chan. They did a really good job with that. So there's that. So that's basically it for the update. There is also a little bit of content with the pumpkin. It's gonna call the pumpkin mission, the Halloween mission. So make sure you hit up these Halloween nightmare missions. Also, make sure you pay attention to the red text in the second mission of an inside view. You can't bring or you can't use a character with physical damage because all the enemies are immune, or the boss is immune to physical damage. And then in the last mission, it flips and it's immune to energy damage. So you either have to bring a character that has both, or just bring one physical and one energy character. It's not a difficult stage, it's just a small little gameplay mechanic to play around. Really fun. Love the black and white fading into color. I always have. And that's basically it for the update. So it's sort of packed, like there's sort of a lot to do, but it's also a little bit short, a little bit dry. I do have to say that. And I'm not trying to complain, but I'm just trying to say, hopefully the next update, and I don't mean to jump ahead already, but hopefully the next update will really blow our socks off with a lot of content, because we've now had 2 updates back to back, actually 3 updates back to back that have been the mid-month update variety, right? We had the White Fox, Luna Snow, Crescent, Sharon Rogers update, which was very small and just the uniforms. Then we had the Phoenix Force Bros update, which again, very small, just Wolverine, Cap, and Hyperion. And now we just got 2 uniforms and a character. I know there's 3 epic quests, and that's awesome. But besides that, that's about it. So the devs got to be cooking up something big here. You know, we can't have 4 updates. We can't have 4 mid-month updates back to back. That ain't how the calendar works. So hopefully, yeah. Hopefully it'll be a little bit bigger, but it's cool. I like the epic quest. I think this is a really cool epic quest, and I think the way that they did this epic quest, I think this is really nice. It sort of focuses more on the characters. There's not as much rushing involved, and it really highlights each individual story. And I would love to see them do this epic quest again with other characters for another team. You know, doing like an epic quest for like the Avengers, or an epic quest for like the new Avengers or whatever. Like they can do it for existing characters and give them uniforms or whatever. I think it'd be really cool. Like if we had an epic quest, for example, let's say we had never gotten the Fantastic Four epic quest, it would have been really cool to see the 4 members of the Fantastic Four going through their own journey. Like let's say they get split up, or even better, the Guardians of the Galaxy, because they literally do get split up, right? They get sucked into that black hole or whatever. So it'd be really cool to see them in different parts of the universe, like trying to figure out what to do and where to go and how to get back to the group to like fix things, right? So yeah. Anywho, I've talked enough. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this update and who you've chosen to go first with on the epic quest. Thanks so much for watching. As I already said that, smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.